So good afternoon, fellow ticket holders. We are getting ready to leave from the Dogfish Inn here. Well, not check out, leave, but leave in the sense of we are going to take bicycles that they have as an amenity and ride them over to Cape Henlopen State Park. It is a state park here in Lewes / Rehoboth Beach. And yeah, it's a good distance. I will look it up to see how long it is for our outro. Total, seeing as we'll figure out how much we did. But yeah, so come with us as we bike from the Dogfish Inn over to Cape Henlopen State Park and back. Hope you enjoy this video. All right, here are our rides for this afternoon. It is stopped raining, so we're gonna go take a ride across to Cape Henlopen State Park. We've got a couple beach cruisers here that will take us that direction. So come on with us as we ride these bikes. Yep, so over there is the Cape May Lewes Ferry Terminal. You can drive your car on and go all the way over to Cape May, New Jersey from Delaware. We just need to go straight ahead to the state park. Alright, so we have made it to our first destination here at Cape Henlopen State Park, and this is tower number 12. Just a little bit of history. This park used to be a fort in World War II, I think in World War I and the Cold War, and it was called Fort Miles. And these towers were built for World War II so that you could go up in it and see the U-boats and things coming in to the coast of Delaware. So they were lookout towers, and some of these are open. Not sure if this one is to go up in with the public, but yeah. See here, it's all just beach. So if we go down this little trail here of sand, there is some remnants, I'm assuming, from this being the fort. Let's go back here real quick and check this out. See, it looks like it was some type of silo or something that fell over. And it's just here. Has the remnants from the past. And here we are, a little bit closer to the tower. And just goes all the way up to the sky. But it looks like this is not the one that you can go up into. So if we see the one we can go up into, we will go up into it. So we'll just continue on here and head towards the actual like encampment area that they have still set up from Fort Miles. So they do have campsites here at the state park, as a lot of state parks do. And doesn't look like there is electric. Oh yeah, there is electric and water hookups. And you got a fire pit and a picnic table. Gotta be very peaceful this time of year to camp. Looks like there's a campground store that's not currently open, and a playground. And here's some bathhouses and toilets right here on B. So continuing down the bike trail, we have come across our first bunker that was used during, I would assume, World War II, if not the Cold War as well, because again, this was used for both. But yeah, so the bunker in the hill in the event they needed to do something, or maybe this is where they stored the gunpowder and stuff, because I know there's barracks for that too. Over here on the left again is another one. They're called casements according to Google. And again, another one. So this is the area where they basically all are. And according to the sign, we need to stay to the left to go towards Fort Miles and the bathhouses. So here we go, this direction to Fort Miles and the beach. So this was really cool to see coming across the bike trail. Got like railroad tracks that leads, well, basically to nowhere now, but again, that's heading into that area where we saw those bunkers. So I would assume this is where trains would bring the artillery and the things to the fort. So we have made it to observation tower number 7, and this is actually the one you can go up in. So let's go up into the tower and see what we can see from the top. So here's a placard about these towers. So they are built from 1939 to 42 to protect the Delaware coast during World War II, and each segment of the tower had a purpose. And if you're interested in reading all this, you can pause and check it out. But we're going to go up into tower number 7, as I said, and see what we can see. It's a little foggy from the rain, but we'll just go up inside and check it out. And first of all, we will just stand in the center and look up. And there's a fan at the top to circulate air. We have all these stairs to go. Alright, so we have made it to the first landing. We have these little slit hole windows. Not much to see because the trees are basically in the way at this level. But I'm going to guess these trees were not as tall back in those days. But the coast is right out there. Alright, we have made it to the second landing up the stairs, where it is the bigger viewing opening. And again, a little bit too foggy to see what's going on out there today. But you got almost a 360 view around. And as I suspected, it is so foggy, can't see anything from here. But the coast is out that way somewhere, all through the foggy clouds. And looking down, someone took the pine needles and made like a bear. And over on this side, we have a heart. But it's time to go back down we go. So that was really cool to see going up into the tower, even though you can't actually see anything out and about. But next we're gonna head over to what is left of some of the encampment buildings in the historical district that they call it. So yeah, let's go over to Fort Miles historical area. So literally across the street from Tower 7 is the Fort Miles historic area. Again, this was used in World War II. A lot of information here. So they built new fortifications here in Cape Henlopen that became known as Fort Myers. In '64, the Army gave the first parcel of miles to the state for this park. But basically, these buildings were used to house the soldiers and stuff. And they are still here, so we'll go down through here and just check them out from the outside, because I don't think any of them you can actually go inside, but it's really neat that this is still here. Okay, so a little bit farther down here, we have a map telling you what these buildings are for. So the ones that are right behind me, the long buildings, there's 4 of them, you can see in green, were the barracks. And that would be this one here, number 606. That one down there is 607. And the 2 right in front of Vanessa, that's 603 and 604. If we go back over here to the map, 601, which is the one right here in front of me, was supplies and administration. And the building back here was the recreational building, or the rec room. So that gives you an idea of what was left from this. But I think the other sign says there was 25 miles of buildings and areas. But if we walk down here, there's some artillery still left behind. So we can see right here, you got 3 guns facing out towards the coast. Those would spin and turn and up and down, and you can see little footholes there where they'd be sitting to spin it, and then the other person would probably shoot it. We also have a moving tank style artillery. I'm not too into military type of things, so I'm just trying my best to describe what I'm seeing here. And again, these buildings here are two of the barracks. And down here we have a couple more artillery guns. See, there's some placards. Let's go see if they talk about what these actually are. Okay, yeah, so this sign here tells you what these guns are. So they're called 3-inch guns. They are 3-inch deck guns, model 1944 MK22. So looking at the information down here at the bottom, it looks like each gun required a 15-man crew, and the gun had a firing range of 11,000 yards, and it was the primary use for anti-aircraft. So that's why it's over here, not exactly on the coast, because actually they were air guns, so you shoot down airplanes. And seems are right here. Let me just take a quick close look at them. Again, you can see down here where they've been able to spin around, and you have the up and down motion. This one doesn't have the station. Oh, here it is. This one does, where someone would literally be sitting here to do the aiming, and then assume someone on this side would be the one to shoot the gun. And finally, I would guess that there were multiple ones in each spot here, just like there was over there. But these are the only two that are left in this little section. So it looks like we have one more building down here. So this says Fort Miles Orientation Center. So that's what this one was, or is, or whatever it's for. And that's the area. Okay, so before we head up here to the artillery area and the museum area, right next to the barracks here, we have this little white building, and it's called a spotter house. You can see here is like this glass opening up top. And basically these were used by volunteers during World War II to spot aircraft. So if we look inside the window here, I'm assuming you can get in at other times of the year, but we can see on the left here, there's like a little desk that they would have to work at. And then down below, the bottom bunk would be for sleeping, and up top takes you up to that glass opening. And according to the sign over here, there was 2 people that would man these, and they would take turns basically sleeping and looking for aircrafts. So if we come over here to the sign, you can see it says Spotter House, Hoopers Island, Maryland. So based on this sign and everything, I'm going to guess that they did not use these here at Fort Miles, but just to let you, just to show that during World War II there was other things used. So a little bit of information here about it. And again, this is a real one, built in 1942. It's only 8 foot by 10 foot. Took about 3 weeks to make, $200 to make. And it was located again at Hoopers Island, Maryland, which I'm going to guess is an island out in the Delaware Bay. You can see here on the sign, they got like instruction manual, they had a little pin, their ID card, a patch, as well as their record log. So the sign here that we came upon is about Artillery Park. This recalls everything about the guns that protected the coast. Again, you can pause it and read it if you would like to. Pretty sure it's probably also on their website if you need more information. But I know that if we go up the hill here, there is even larger artillery and things that we can check at. And probably won't be able to see the water, but we'll definitely go up there and check it out. So a little bit up the hill here, we have a little bit larger one. It's called a 6-inch gun, which I assume is just twice as big as the 3-inch and probably a little bit longer range, but still probably anti-aircraft, which the sign says. So it required 25 people to operate and could go 15 miles. And here's another angle from the side and back of the 6-inch gun. And as we make our way up to the top of the hill, we can see the big guy up here in the distance. So this larger gun is a 16-inch gun, which had a 16-inch shell. And according to this map, it had about a 25-mile radius to protect the Delaware Bay. Yeah, here it is. Really large. And they actually have one of the shells over here showing what damage it could do. So it's a really big shell. And you can see, in comparison to the bicycle, it's about the same length. And this is about the damage it could do going through what looks to be some type of wall. So this 16-inch gun could do a lot of damage in that 25 miles. And we'll just circle around the back side of the big gun here. And this guy is taller than me, so This guy's about 6 feet long, I would assume. This one's about as tall as me, so just under about 6 foot. 5'10", 5'8". But yeah, look at this. Huge. I'm assuming you go in the inside there to control it. And if those little guns took 25 people, I'm assuming this one would take even more people to control. Right next to this 16-inch gun, we have the Fort Miles Museum and Battery 519, and I'm not sure if it's open or not, but it's like you're going to the fortification. So it looks like the museum is closed, and I think this is relatively new, at least from the last time we were here, because I think it was just a steel door that would go into the barrack, but it is currently closed, and it's because they are closed Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, the day before. Assuming it's gonna be closed on, nope, they'll be open back again at this point, January 6th. So closed for the holidays, and they have different things in there. So we will have to come back with our bikes and check out the museum at some point. And we continued around to the right of the museum because this concrete looked new. So just wanted to see what's going on. And it looks like it just leads up to a parking lot, because it's actually a really nice big parking lot too. And oh, there's another entrance to like this fortification. So I don't know if there's another entrance into the museum down here. Let's go see. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So there is another entrance into the museum. So what would be neat one day to come is you can go inside. Pretty sure it's probably more modernized now, but at least you can walk through the fort or barrack or whatever you want to call it. My apologies if I am calling it wrong, but it's basically inside this dune here. And on the other side of the dune is the ocean or the Delaware Bay, depending on which direction you look. Also, a quick side note, I did not realize that there was cacti growing here in Delaware. They're a little flat right now, I guess because of how cold it is, and they're a little shriveled, but I wonder in the summer, do they just pop back up, kind of in a hibernation mode maybe right now. But we're gonna go back up here to the top, see if we can see anything. If not, we'll go ahead and head out of the park for the day. All right, so we have made it to the back side of what is the museum, and they have this really cool entrance here with the fort wall. They have this really open area here. I guess they can use this as a stage or something, but we can hear the ocean out there, but it's a little foggy, so you can't see it today. There's a really nice observation area up here behind the museum, so we'll definitely have to come back. So it looks like it's starting to rain. We stopped here at the bathhouse real quick to go to the bathroom, so we definitely need to head out of here. So let's head out and head back to the hotel. Here we go, all downhill from here. So over here to the right is the disc golf course. See one of the things over there? I remember going up and there's some type of observatory building the other direction. We're continuing out. We're on the outstretch here. And we have made it back to the bridge. Dogfish Inn's right over there. And over here is the other side of the bridge. And out there, that little, maybe not really little, but that boat out there is where we're gonna try to be tonight for New Year's Eve. Because they're supposed to drop a buoy or something on the mast, kind of like the ball drop in New York. So if this rain holds off tonight, we'll be over there. If not, who knows what we'll do tonight. But we have made it to our final destination, back to the Dogfish Inn. Yay! All right, so we just finished our bike ride over to Cape Henlopen State Park, and I just looked on Google Maps. It's about 7 miles round trip that we did. I knew it was far, but I didn't realize it was that far. So I am very proud of us for doing this, because we're not bicyclists. We don't do it all the time. We do have our own bikes, as I've mentioned while we were over at the park, that we want to go back. But yeah, not something that we've done in a long time.
Yeah, kudos to people that cycle all the time.
Yeah.
That have such an endurance. I was practically, my legs were burning already right after we left. So that was really hard. But it was so beautiful going through the trails.
Yeah.
Delaware has some beautiful state parks.
Yep.
And like Chad had mentioned, we had done this before, but we were actually doing the gym back in the day. We were a little bit more fit.
Yeah.
And we did an actual whole trail that we actually want to do again one day.
Yeah, so we're hoping that we can bring the bikes. We did learn from the innkeeper here at the Dogfish Inn that actually on these off season, and while we were there, we saw Cape Henlopen is free to get into. So if we can catch more good days like this in the winter, when there's good weather in the winter.
Yeah, and there was a lot of foot traffic. There was people biking.
Yeah.
There was people staying at the campgrounds.
And we definitely caught it just before the rain. A little bit of drizzle there, as you saw, but it was okay.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, be safe, be kind, and adventure on. Bye. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below.